Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Nova, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a header that looks something like this. You get the dark 3D text, and then in the background you have like a statue or whatever, and then there's some palm trees around the text, and then the backing is pretty much just the text, but blurred and lowered lightness or whatever brightness. So for this, you're going to be needing Cinema 4D. Let me just hide my desktop because it looks really messy. You're going to be needing Cinema 4D and Photoshop. So I'm going to open Cinema 4D because that's where we're going to start. We're going to make the text first. First, you're going to download the Lightroom in the description below, and let's see if I can find it. So it's going to come with this Lightroom. Obviously, it's going to be in the description. You can download it. Actually, it's going to be like this. So first thing you're going to do, you're going to go to MoGraph and add a MoText. And you're going to rename this to whatever you want. I'm going to keep it at text. And the font that I'm going to use now, this takes a while. I don't know why. Let me just check on my, see if I have enough space to record this, but hopefully, yeah. Alright, I got plenty of space. Okay, so for your font, you're gonna go to, you're gonna download this font called Brush Strike, and make it low caps, because if you make it high caps or caps, there will be like a thing in between it. See, I'll show you. Like there will be a line crossing the text. So yeah, the font is Brush Strike, and it's gonna be low caps for all letters. So now you want to just kind of move it in the middle of your screen and make the depth bigger so you get that 3D effect, but nothing crazy. I'm just going to click off the camera for a second to see how big that is. That's way too big. I think that's fine. So I'm going to go back to my camera, and now you can pretty much right click the text and then just click make editable. And now you can click individual letters and like move them closer and rotate them or whatnot. So I'm just going to kind of like rotate the letters to make it look even cooler. And then you can even move them around and stuff. It's pretty cool. Now, I'm not the best at Cinema 4D, but these are just like the basics, so I'm just going to make like a basic text rotation. Not rotation, but like randomization, I guess you could call it. And I think this doesn't look too bad, like this. I think I like that. Let me just look at it. It's looking pretty good. I think I like it. Maybe it'd be cool if you could see the 3D more over here. So maybe if I did something like this. I don't know if that would look bad, but let's try. Thing is, when you do the text, you want to make sure like you can see the 3D as well as the front. You don't want to, like, you want to kind of avoid this right here where the 3D is really dark, but it works. So I'm just gonna rotate this a little bit more like this, and then this like that. Okay, so once you have your text, you don't even need any material or anything. You're just gonna go over here. Excuse me. You're gonna go over here into the settings, and just only thing you have to change is you just go to save and click this 3-dot thing, whatever, and just save it as whatever. I'm gonna save it as text. I usually just save it as what the text says, so like kind of keep it clean, you know. But I'm just gonna render this, and once it's done, we're gonna go into Photoshop. Okay, so while that is rendering, you're just gonna go to File and make a new file or whatever, and the width is gonna be 3000. Actually, I have a thing here, preset, basically is just 3000 by 1000, and I know some people like to do 1500 by 500, but that's pretty bad because it doesn't look as HD, and I definitely recommend, unless your PC is really slow, definitely recommend this resolution. Jesus. And the background contents, just make it black and click OK. So once you have your text rendered, you're just gonna put it in here, and once that rendered, you're just gonna go back to your Cinema 4D. Actually, I forgot about this, and you're gonna render it again, but like go under. Okay, so where it says mode text, you're gonna open up all the folders, and all these green icons right here, you're gonna click on it and go under object and change this size, the last size, to 0 for all of them. So that gets rid of the 3D effect, and you want to render it one more time like that. There we go. So just go to save settings and just name it text2 or whatever, and render it one more time. This should be a lot quicker than the first time because it's just a 2D layer, and we're gonna be needing this for like the inner glow of the text. But just go back into Photoshop, and now what you want to do is you want to import both at the same time. So click your first render, hold Control and click the second render, and just drag them onto Photoshop. Just click OK and click OK. Okay, so in this header right here, you can see that the font or the text is actually like a little bit darker than just being silver. So what I did is I just added a color overlay with like lower opacity. So just go to color overlay, make sure everything's on normal, 100%, whatever, and the color is black, and then I just lower the opacity to something like 65%, and then just copy this layer style and put it onto the 2D text as well, like that. So now you have like darker text, as you can see here, and we can make it more darker later on, but this is pretty much like how you do that. And actually I'm gonna make it more dark, like 72% maybe, or we could leave the background, or I mean the 3D text like that, and the front just a little darker like that. So once you have that, you're just gonna right click and rasterize layer style and do that for both of them. So now you have, like, if you select all of them, you have one text that's dark. Pretty much that's all we did so far. So now we're gonna get to adding all these lights, and I'm pretty sure that's what you guys wanted to see most in this tutorial, is adding these lights and these glows. So first thing I like to do is I like to add the light on the whole text, so on the 3D part. So I'm gonna double click that and add a inner glow, and the color, let's just make it yellow. If you guys want to learn how to make this exact one, so I'm gonna make it yellow, like with a little bit more of a orange look, maybe like here. You can copy the color here if you want. And for now, I'm just gonna set the opacity to 100% and the size to maybe like 32 is good. And then we could do color dodge, but I think I'm gonna go with let's see. Okay, we could do color dodge and less opacity, so like this. I'm pretty sure that's what I did in the other one. So just like a little bit bigger size, maybe like 50, and the opacity, you don't want it all the way up because then it looks like ugly and orange instead of yellow. So make it like 75 up to 80, and then it looks nice. Okay. And then also you want to double click it again and add a gradient overlay. So just set it to normal, make the gradient from black to white, and then set it to overlay. And the scale should be at 100%, and then lower the opacity just a little bit, like that. So now you're going to copy this layer style. As you can see, that looks pretty good already, but it's going to look better. You're going to copy this layer style, so right click and copy layer style and paste it on this one. For this one, it's not looking that yellow, but we're gonna fix that. So just double click, and maybe you could change the color. Barely. And set the size to something bigger. Actually keep the color about the same. Make the opacity a little higher and lower the size, so like that. I think that looks pretty good. I'm not sure. I think I like it. Yeah, so maybe you could duplicate this again and lower the fill and clear layer style. So basically just duplicate it, lower fill, and add another inner glow. But this one we're gonna set it to screen and lower the lightness or the opacity. Like that. Maybe set it to color dodge, but I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, we could keep it on color dodge. So now you can see that's pretty cool, and I think I like it. It's kind of dope. I think I'm gonna make the text a little darker. So color overlay, and a little bit darker. There we go. Okay, so now that you have that, you're gonna make a new layer above everything, and you're gonna get like a soft brush on 0 hardness, and then a little bit bigger size. Not a little bit bigger, but whatever that was. And some of the bright parts, you're just gonna, you know, put like, just paint it with the brush. Maybe one here and one here. And lower the opacity to something smaller. Maybe you could set it to color dodge. No, not color dodge, to screen. And then you want to make it so it's barely visible, but really it adds a lot. If you really look at it, it adds a lot, but you don't really notice it that much. And that's good. Oh, my internet works sick. So now you want to go to over here. You can see there are like palm trees right here. And so I'm gonna teach you how to like add that and make it look good. So let's see if we can find a nice palm tree. I think this one's okay actually. Let's see. I don't know which one to pick. I think I'm gonna go with this one. So just save image and put it into Photoshop. And now what you gotta do is you gotta go to image and change the saturation to 0 and also the lightness, make it darker. And you can add some slight curves, so like this, and maybe like this. Okay, now you want to put it under the text, so like this. And make it smaller. And just put it in some parts of the text. So like here. Maybe like here. Just put it anywhere, it doesn't really matter. It's just like kind of a cool effect to do to the text. I'm just gonna erase this. There we go. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm just gonna keep it at that, and I'm gonna merge it into one group. So basically, actually, what I did, I just clicked the top one, hold shift, click the bottom one to select all, and just click this right here to put them in a group. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm just gonna change the overall color a little bit. So add a hue and saturation. And I think I'm gonna go with, that looks pretty cool actually. I'm gonna keep it at that for now because I think I like the way that looks. So gonna make this a little bigger. The inner glow, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger and less opaque. So if I step forward, I think that looks better. Okay, so now I'm gonna copy every layer that we have so far, except the background and the hue and saturation. And I'm just gonna click Ctrl J and right click it and merge layers. So I'm gonna put this under every layer. Oh shit, I put it in the group. Make sure you put it like right above the background. And I'm gonna hide this one because we're gonna use it later, and just duplicate it and make this one visible, because we're gonna be using that a little bit more than just once. So just click Ctrl T and make it a little bit bigger, and just hold Shift and Alt when you're scaling it so it scales at the same size and everything, like the same resolution or the ratio. And now I'm just gonna go to Image, Adjustments, and Hue and Saturation, and lower the lightness of this to something like that, and then add some curves to make the colors pop out a little bit more, basically to make it darker, but the colors will stay. 1 second. Okay, so just add some curves like that. And yeah, now you're gonna go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur, and you're gonna add a nice blur, and just erase some parts. If you've watched some of my other tutorials, you probably know this effect, because I use this like a lot, but it's pretty cool. So just erase some parts, and yeah. So now we basically did like this part right here, this stuff right here, and yeah. So just go back to your I don't know what I'm saying. Erase some parts. There you go. So now you can add like glows over the whole header. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna make my brush a little bigger like this, and I'm just gonna click randomly everywhere like here, and I'm gonna go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur, and blur it a little bit so the glows are a little bigger like that, and set it to screen and lower the opacity. So like that, maybe. I think that's okay. Okay, next we're gonna add a texture to the text so it doesn't look so plain. So I'm just gonna look up grunge texture, and when you use textures, maybe make sure you use like really HD textures, because the worst thing that could be is when you have textures on text but it looks blurry, especially when you made the composition 3000 by 1000 to make it look HD. Let's see. If it loads. Yeah, so I'm just gonna save this, or actually all you have to do is copy it and go above your text layer, your 2D text, and just click paste. Go to edit and paste, and I'm gonna rotate this one because it's longer vertical than whatever. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. And I'm just gonna click Control and the 3D text, so it selects the whole text, and then I'm gonna go over here, right click, select the select tool, go to select inverse, and click Control X. So now you have basically the texture in the shape of the text, And now you're gonna change the blending mode to let's see, I usually don't have like a thing I like to do for this. I just see what looks the best and use it. But I think the best was this right here, multiply. Usually you want to use multiply if like the texture is white, because otherwise it doesn't look that good. Let's see. Nah, I'm gonna keep it on multiply. I think that's fine. Okay, so now maybe we can add a top light. Adding top lights is cool. I don't know, I use it everywhere. Just a small top light. There we go. So now I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the backing pretty much this stuff right here, all around the backing. So actually I'm gonna add some curves to this to make it look more, to emphasize the glows, I guess. So just go down here and add some curves like this. And now you can go to the lights that we added, the lights of the whole header, and make them a little more, just make the opacity a little bigger. There we go. So now you're gonna select all your text, except the bottom one, except this. Actually, we already did that. That's why we had this. So you're gonna duplicate it again because we're gonna be needing it again, and just make it bigger like this. And I'm gonna rotate it a little bit. And now we're gonna add a blur to this one, like a big blur. Not that big, but like something like this. And we're gonna go to image, adjustments, and hue and saturation, and make that smaller, like that. And just erase it around the text, like that. Let's see what it looks like with the hue and saturation. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. I'm just gonna keep it green. Alright. So now we have, basically what we did is this, the blurred backgrounds. And I'm gonna do it again and blur it even more. So I'm gonna use this for the last time. And I'm gonna put it above everything, actually. Just put it above everything except the top light. So put it below the top light. And I'm just gonna scale it up and rotate it like something like this, so that when it goes down, you only see like the, yeah, whatever. And just go to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur, and blur it like even more. So like this maybe. And then you could rotate it by 180 degrees and put it over here. So I think this is looking pretty cool so far, for a tutorial header at least. Okay, and one more thing I usually like to do, let's see if we can find the palm tree. Go back to getting the palm tree, or you could just use it from the, get the image again, the palm tree, and set the, okay, first thing I'm gonna right click and rasterize it, and go to image, adjustments, and desaturate. So now I'm gonna make it bigger, and I'm gonna lower the hue, the lightness, like this. And I'm just gonna add the blur now, like this. And what this is pretty much right here at the top, and I think it's somewhere on the bottom if I remember correctly. Just I don't know, it makes it look sick, I guess. Definitely put it on the top, and we'll see if I like it on the bottom. So like this. And again, we could lower the lightness to make it darker. Like that. So just put it there, maybe put it here. Like that, maybe. I don't know. Like there. And maybe duplicate it and flip it and put it over here. Like that. I think that looks pretty cool, honestly. And let's see if we can add like over here. There's like Caesar in the back, or like a statue. Not Caesar, what did I say? But like a statue in the back. So we can add that. And what I did is I just looked up statue. PNG. And you could pick any. There's like many statues here. I usually like to pick like more HD ones. I don't know why. I mean, obviously because it's gonna look a lot better. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with this one. I really like this one. So I'm just gonna save the image. And I'm gonna put it into Photoshop. Right here. And I'm gonna move it below all of the text. Wow, that was a little bit of stutter. I'm gonna put it below the text. Right here is good, I guess. Right here. So first thing, we're gonna rasterize it, and then go to image adjustments and desaturate. And I think I'm gonna put it on the other side because the thing, and rotate it a little bit. There we go. So the thing here with the statues, as you can see, if you want it to look like, you know, the light from above is illuminating the character, you gotta kind of like add some work to it. So just go above just make sure you have the statue layer selected, and then go over here and just add a hue and saturation and lower this to something like that maybe, and then create clipping mask so it only applies to the statue, like where the light is come from. So like right here, you're gonna erase parts. So like right here, and you can make the brush smaller and like really do a better job on this than I did. And maybe on the nose a little. Like right there. Like that. You're basically just like making it look like the light is making him look brighter or whatever. I don't know how to say it. Okay, so I think that's pretty much good. If you messed up somewhere, you can just get a brush tool and fill it back in. Like over here, there would be no light, so you could just do that. Like that. Okay, and one more thing you could do, you could add another hue and saturation, set it to clipping mask, and make this even darker. And keep this only on the other side. So like, only thing you would have to do is just like erase everything here and here. So like, over here. And just keep it like on the darker side. Like that. So now you can see what that does. You basically have you made it look like the light is making it. Alright, I don't think I need to say it because you can see what happens, and it makes it look so much cooler. So you could just leave that there, and I think you can just merge all the layers, all the statue layers, so it's only the statue now. And I don't know why I put it like that. Okay, so now you're gonna make a new layer above the statue, create clipping mask. And how long is this tutorial? Wow, that's pretty long. Okay, and you're gonna add like black glows here, just so that kind of separates the text from the statue character. So I think that's pretty cool. You can see what that does. Maybe lower the opacity a little bit, just so it doesn't look so rough. But I think that's pretty cool. I like it. Okay, one more thing right here. What I did is like this. The way I did that is I just merge the statue, and I'm gonna add some curves to it first of all. So add some curves, and then just duplicate it, control J, and just make it bigger and away from the light. Put it like more further away from the light. So like that. And just put it below the first statue, like here. And now I just looked up some particles, but I don't think I'm gonna do that just because I don't have enough time. But basically, if you had the particles like let's say here, just the particles. Oh shit, I put the particles on the statue. Okay, so let's say you put your particles. Fuck. Okay, let's say you put your particles over here above the character. So you just select the layer, like hold control and click here. That selects like all the pixels from that layer, and just right click, select inverse, and just click on the statue and click Control X, so it only stays like where the particles are, right here. You could even do it with circles, it looks kind of cool. But that's pretty much the way I did that. And maybe add some motion blur. Like that. And then one more thing, maybe go above the statue right here. And change the hardness to 0 and just add like a glow or something. Like that. Okay, so now that you have that, you're pretty much done with the header. Now we're just gonna add some more effects with Magic Bullet Looks and in Photoshop. So just select all the layers, like literally everything. And I think yellow looks better, honestly. I'm not sure. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna go with this color. That's sick. I like that. Okay, so now you just select all the layers, and you're gonna duplicate it by clicking Control J and right click and merge layers. So now the first thing I like to do, I like to duplicate this again and go to Filter, Other, and High Pass. And usually I set it to around 1 pixel, so that should be good, and just set it to Overlay. So that kind of like adds a sharpen effect, makes it look sharper, and it looks dope. I like it. I'm gonna add some more glows to this because like that, and just add some random glows. Like that. Okay, so now that you have that, I like to just save it. So I'm gonna save it to tutorial header. whatever, and save it as a TIFF. And click here, discard layers, click OK. And now you want to open Magic Bullet Looks. And just go to File, Open, Image File. And I'm just going to find it. And just open your header. And now you're going to add like some cool effects. So I'm gonna pick the one that looks best for my case, and I'm gonna give you guys like the settings and everything. Okay, I think nah. Okay, I think I like this one. I'm just gonna add some diffusion. And then I'll give you guys the settings. There we go. So the way you do this, you just go to Tools and find whatever you need from the section. So if I were to add this vignette right here, I'm going to turn this off, I think. Yeah. Or whatever. So if I were to add the vignette, I would just go, if it's under lens, I would just go to lens and just drag it. And now I'm gonna give you like all the settings over here so you could copy those, but let me double check to make sure if this is good. Okay, whatever. So just copy these. So diffusion, vignette, swing tilt, chromatic aberration, pop, color ranges, and this, whatever that is. So now that you have that, you're just gonna go to File and Save Image As, and just click Save. Okay, so once that is saved, you're just gonna put it back into Photoshop. So let me find it real quick. And so just put it back into Photoshop, and you can really see the difference, how that made it look so much cooler and doper. So now I'm gonna try and do this effect that I did here. I can't really do it because over here I added like a abstract light. Like, I don't know if I can show you, like this right here. This is like a stock from a pack. So I don't think I can really duplicate this effect right here that I did, but I'm gonna try. So basically just duplicate the layer and go to filter gallery. And now let's see what kind of does that effect. Okay, so this is what I found that works. So just go to brush strokes and go to crosshatch. Just copy these settings right here. You can mess with them a little, but that's what I found that works. That kind of makes it look like it. Not like that, but you get the idea. It kind of adds a 3D thing to the text, so you can really see the difference. And you could keep it like this for the whole header, but I'm just gonna erase like the parts of the backing, because that kind of messes up the backing and makes it look not clean. But I'm gonna keep it on the statue, and I'm just gonna erase on some parts of the text. So like try to keep it on for like the sides to make it look a little more rough, but I'm gonna get rid of it around the text because that looks pretty bad. So right here, there we go. So I think we pretty much are done with the header. Oh yeah, one more thing you could do is just merge that and duplicate this. Shit, this is a long video. Oh well. Duplicate it, make it bigger like that. And now just erase some parts, like where the text is, obviously. Maybe where the statue is, where the light is, like where the important parts of the header are. Just erase that and just keep it on like some parts. And now we're gonna add a blending mode to this. I'm not sure what looks the best, but let's see. Okay. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I don't know. Maybe you could use that. Maybe like erase it here to make it look like it's going into the stock. And erase it here. And do that maybe like that. I don't know. You could just play with this and maybe add some blur, but maybe not. I don't know. Just add like a little bit of blur, but I think this looks pretty good. If you add some more curves to it, it looks really good. It looks darker, but I like it. Anyway, so if you guys enjoyed this tutorial, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment if you want to see more tutorials. I don't really like to do these a lot because they take a lot of time. Like this one took 53 minutes, but then again, I guess it's worth it for you guys, and you guys learn how to like do all these cool effects and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna go because my voice is like, I'm sick and stuff, so I hate talking when I'm sick. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and peace out.